Hey everybody, it's First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez. The snow is now officially over, but it has created an icy mess across much of Metro Atlanta. Basically, anyone that saw flurries earlier is seeing some problems on the roadway, some areas more than others. And the big problem here was not the snow totals, because honestly, those totals were not impressive at all. Almost everybody less than an inch, well under an inch of snow. The problem was everybody was on the roads as that snow fell, and it turned that snow into ice. In fact, a lot of ice. I want to show you a live image here. This is in Gwinnett County. This is on Old Norcross Road at Boggs Road in Gwinnett. And you can see here there's some emergency vehicles in the distance, but when you look at the road, this is Old Norcross Road from east to west that you're seeing on your screen. You can see that white on the roads. That is a blanket of ice. And even if you have a four-wheel vehicle, a big Jeep with those big, awesome tires, it's just very hard to get traction on ice. Oh, look at that. Oh, did you see that? That car just slid into the car in front of it and hit that car. Were you watching that on the right? So now the car pulled forward. It just got hit by that car. So and now that car's pulling forward. The truck is backing up. So this is something we've seen over and over again. We're seeing just cars crashing into other cars, which is why people aren't moving. And then you look on the sidewalk and there's someone on their phone there. People are getting out of their vehicles. They don't know what to do. They're stuck. They're afraid to move because, as you just saw, that one vehicle tried to move and it ended up hitting the car in front of it. So these cars are not getting traction. Let's watch this car in the middle here. It's trying to come between the cars. And we're going to watch this in real time. We just saw an accident a minute ago. And maybe that's why we're also seeing people to the side of the road. Maybe they hit other cars and they're exchanging insurance information. So he's pulling over now, the one that got hit. There's another car coming through the middle. So the way we found this camera, and honestly, these cameras are all over the metro. We're seeing images just like this, is one of our coworkers lives right off of that area, right off that road. And he can't go home because this is what he's going to be sitting in. And the longer you watch this camera, you'll see, and I'll leave this after I'm done showing you these weather graphics so you can continue to watch. But cars are just sliding into each other. People are stuck. They're not sure what to do. This is very reminiscent of Snowmageddon, where people ended up abandoning their vehicles and walking home, sometimes miles and miles and miles. Because when you're stuck and you're sliding, you don't really have a choice. You're getting more traction walking on the sidewalk than your vehicle's getting on the icy road. So now I'm watching this white vehicle here. He's trying to pull forward. This is exactly where that other car accident happened. So let's see. He's on a sheet of ice. He's trying to pull forward. Oh, it looks like he got stuck. So this is a hilly road as well. So that's not helping the situation. So he now has his hazards on. It almost looks like these cars are advancing and trying to get up the hill. And when they realize that their tires are spinning, oh, look at that truck. Watch that truck. So the truck on the right is the one that I think hit another vehicle earlier. So now we're watching that white vehicle as well as they spin. And again, this is a live camera you're watching. This is in Gwinnett County, Old Norcross Road at Boggs Road. And this is in Gwinnett. Gwinnett had much lower totals than areas south of Atlanta. So if this is happening in Gwinnett, you can imagine places near the airport. We've had numerous reports of icy roads and impassable roads near the airport on the south side of the city. And we're seeing it even in the northern suburbs as well. So that truck is stuck. That white car gave up. It was pulling forward. I think it realized it can't really go any further. And cars just end up staying still. So we're going to continue with our weather graphics, but I did want to show you this. We'll come back to this. Let's watch this red car, what it's doing. Because as you're watching this live, people are trying to maneuver. People are trying to get home. And imagine your desperation. If you're one of these vehicles, you are thirsty, you're hungry, you're trying to get home, and you can't get home. And you're just sitting there sliding. Let's see what this red car does here. And they all pull forward to where that white car is, and then they give up. Oh, look at him. See that red car? So I think his tire, the white car, is not advancing very much. There he goes. There goes the red car. Let's see what he does. Oh, he gave up, and now he's going into reverse. I think he's going to turn around and come back the way he came from. But he's also going in the wrong direction of traffic if he does that. So he's sliding, he's trying to pull forward. So where that car is trying to go is where we saw a couple other accidents already. The white car looks like it's finally pulling forward, so at least we're seeing some movement there. That gridlock, and the red car is turning around and maybe getting out of there. But you can see bystanders looking on from the side as this mess tries to improve. Let me show you what radar looks like right now, because things are improving. The snow is pretty much over and done with, maybe a few flurries in far eastern Putnam County, but otherwise that is it. The snow pretty much officially over and done with. We are not going to see any additional snow for the rest of tonight. But again, all the snow we did see turned into a sheet of ice, as you saw on that camera. And unfortunately, that ice is not going to melt. Temperatures are getting colder, not warmer. So that ice will continue to be an issue. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast. Again, notice that snow continues to retreat to the south and east, totally dry by 11 p.m. And although it will be dry, it will be frigid. In fact, right now in Atlanta, if you can look at that camera, that is Centennial Olympic Park. You can't even see the grass. It's covered in snow. Not a lot, but we did see some snow. We're still waiting for the official totals from the National Weather Service, but from all the images I've seen and all the reports I've seen, they have all been under an inch of snow. But of course, we may see some higher totals. We'll keep you updated as we get those official reports from the National Weather Service. But it is cold, 24 degrees. We do have a 13-mile-an-hour wind, so it feels like it's only 12 degrees right now in Atlanta. Look at these wind chills. This is how cold it feels as you step outside. It feels like 17 in Griffin. It feels like 10 in Canton. It feels like 13 in Carrollton. And notice many counties have been removed from the winter weather advisory. So I know this says snow accumulations up to. These are now for travel difficulties. So there are multiple parameters that the National Weather Service uses to decide whether a certain area is a winter weather advisory or a winter storm warning. The National Weather Service has gotten enough accident reports that they issued a winter storm warning. So this is based on the number of accidents reported to the National Weather Service. So the roads are impassable, as you saw in that live camera, big problems with sheets of ice, and cars are stranded. They are abandoning their vehicles and walking home. So that is creating quite the mess across North Georgia. That winter storm warning does continue through tomorrow morning, but it may be extended even further because we're not going to see above freezing temperatures until tomorrow afternoon. So although we will see a lot of sunshine tomorrow, it's going to stay very, very cold, so those problems will continue. So here's a look at tonight's forecast. Dangerous wind chills will get down to 15, but it will feel like the single digits, and those icy roads will remain tonight. Dangerous roads, my biggest concern. It will be icy through at least tomorrow morning. So remember that, at least tomorrow morning. That does not mean that at 10 a.m. or noon or 1 p.m. you're safe to go. You will want to check your road conditions. We will be sending updates on the First Alert Weather app. We'll be sending updates, of course, on Atlanta News First. But make sure you check before you leave home. You don't want to be stuck like all these folks that we're watching on this camera here, stuck on the roads. If you do have to go somewhere, have bottles of water, have your medications, make sure you have a blanket. A lot of these people are probably stuck in their vehicles without those resources and in a good bit of trouble right now. So certainly remember to take all those necessary items with you. The best advice I can give you is please stay home if possible. It will be dangerously cold tonight. So if you run out of gas, you will be in trouble tonight. Temperatures will feel like 7 degrees as you wake up tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. That's in Atlanta. It will feel even colder in the suburbs. Ooh, I just saw someone fall on this camera. We're going to go back to this camera because, okay. So if you see that black truck with the flashing lights, that person was running. Ooh, now they're trying to run up the hill and they just fell on the ice. So this is dangerous not only for vehicles, this is dangerous for people as well. You don't want to be running. If you have to walk outside, venture out on these sidewalks. You want to take really high steps. You want to walk very slowly, very carefully. You do not want to try to run. This is literally a skating rink in Gwinnett County that we're watching in the middle of Old Norcross Road. Okay, well, back to the graphics here. Wind chills tomorrow, only 30 tomorrow. We will get above freezing in Atlanta. but it will only feel like 30 in the afternoon. So a cold weather advisory in effect, that is for tomorrow morning, wind chills between 4 and 10 degrees, and that's for the entire viewing area. We will be above freezing tomorrow, but only briefly for a couple of hours, which is why I don't expect a whole lot of melting tomorrow. We will see some, the sun will help, but remember the last snow event, granted we had inches and inches of snow. It was a more significant event as far as snow totals. But remember how long it took for that snow to melt? Some areas still had snow just a few days ago. So it doesn't melt right away. We did see lower totals, so thankfully that will help. It won't last as long. But certainly some issues with roads will continue well into Thursday. So I really think Thursday afternoon, that is when we will see significant improvement. But right now, of course, all eyes on that radar. The snow is over. I'm going to take you back to the roads because this is what things are looking like. And here's the other, see those people standing in the middle of the roadway? It is an ice skating rink and people are trying to drive and they're just standing there. So that is incredibly dangerous as well because these cars would obviously not do it on purpose, but that's why we call it accidents. Accidents happen and I wouldn't be standing in the middle of a roadway that is incredibly slick and dangerous. So the red truck we watched earlier that hit another vehicle, it now has its hazards on. He's got his driver's door open, and it looks like there's multiple cars on the right side of the road that have their hazard lights on. So I am thinking those are all the vehicles that have gotten in an accident, and they are waiting, kind of assessing what to do with this mess. As you can see, it is not improving, and we are seeing cameras like this all over the metro area. I'm going to leave this camera up for you to watch. You can see how this develops. Also, it can give you an assessment of maybe how things are looking where you are. But the moral of the story here, the bottom line, it is very dangerous outside. Make sure you stay off the roads. The icy roads will not get better overnight. In fact, it will stay very dangerous through tomorrow morning. That's why schools are canceled tomorrow morning as well, because of the impacts on the roadways. Make sure you keep it with the First Alert team, and the First Alert weather app will keep you updated as the cold weather continues tomorrow. I just left it up because it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, thank you.